Hey, there we go.
Hey, Shawn.
Hey, Sherry, how are you?
I am so glad to be here talking about the hard stuff is okay. I love this. I love this. And if anybody's here now, if anybody joins us later, if you've been here with us before, thank you. Like, this is so important having a space to just whatever comes up that feels hard.
Yeah, and it's okay because it says it in the title, right?
Exactly. It says it. We have permission.
We have permission. And something that Sherry and I, this comes up every time we do the growth day meeting, and I tend to bring it up in these follow-up meetings. I don't know, the bonus Sherry time is
Bonus
how I
material.
bonus Sherry time is what I have on my calendar. But we just go back to this idea that we have multitudes, right? I think Susan Cain talks about melancholy. You have strong, like positive and negative feelings, if that's a polarity. But we can experience extreme stress, extreme grief, extreme sadness, extreme loneliness, on and on and on, and also have space for joy, right? It's not mutually exclusive, right? And that feeling of melancholy is that mix of those two spaces where they kind of meet.
Ah,
I think,
love the way you just said
yeah.
all that.
Oh,
Yes.
cool.
Yes. And we do always like to say, in case there's anyone who hasn't joined us before, Shawn and I started doing these 100 years ago when we were both reading Bittersweet, Susan Cain's book. So we always like to say hi to Susan Cain, whether she's
Hey, Susan.
because that's true, right? That book, we were reading that book, and as coaches, we were both like, yes, there's room for all of it. And in fact, um, there needs to be room for all of it. I feel like our culture is sort of like elbowing out the melancholy or the hard stuff and trying to, you know, pretend sometimes that it's not there. And I love that we bring it back together.
Me too. Me too.
And this idea of the reason I love every time you say that about we contain multitudes is for one thing, inevitably, when we're on the call or if we have other people in the growth day meetings with us, there is hard stuff. I mean,
Hmm.
there's death, there's illness, there's, siblings situations, there's just situations with our children that are really hard. There's lots of stress and grief.
Hmm.
And we never have a meeting where we don't say, and this is the moment where I'm going to say it here, there's such a joy in being together in these
Hmm.
conversations. Yeah. And I just think that I know you bring that up all the time when we talk about that book, Bittersweet. And anybody
Hmm.
who's watched what's the Pixar movie with joy and sadness?
Oh, Inside Out.
Inside Out, right? I mean, that's always also talked about. That quiet joy that comes from being in a very real conversation with someone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
you know. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
go. You were going to say something. Go for it.
Well, okay, two things I wanted to say. One is I wanted to tell people because I'm still so delighted by the fact that I was going to Shawn's neighborhood across the bay last week and meeting somebody, a friend of mine. And on the way, I just thought, hey, Shawn lives right there. I wonder if he could come out. We could talk for 5 minutes or just sit on his porch or just, I mean, I just had to like, I never get to do that. When you live in a big city. Um,
Hmm.
and as it turned out, Shawn was just passing by the BART station when I was coming. And that was, you called it, I'm going to use your words and attribute it to you. You said little levers of joyfulness,
Hmm.
right? Like that brought me, and I was really having a hard morning. And I was so delighted, maybe the depth of our sorrow like allows for the breadth of joy, right? That it was like maybe it was even magnified, but just seeing you and hugging you, that was a great example of the multitudes.
Hmm. Mm.
Yeah.
No, I love that. Well, I'm sorry. Wasn't aware that you were having a tough morning that
Oh,
day, but um, I felt the joy when I saw you, just the brightness and the energy, and I felt it myself. Of getting to see someone in your tribe. You're like, oh, like this is part of
Ah,
you're part of my people, and
yeah.
I'm so great to share the same space as you.
And what I was going to say, the second half of that story. So I was meeting who I kind of a new friend, right? Someone that I've only met a couple times,
Hmm.
and what happened was we sat down, and the first thing she asked me about a piece of jewelry that I was wearing, and I burst into tears.
Oh wow,
Right?
wow, okay.
Like, oh wow. So new friend, like not something I would typically like, think I'm gonna do. And yet it happened. And the reason I'm bringing this up is that this whole idea of the joy of connection, she was so beautiful. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. She was like, what are you sorry about? Like, we came here to be together. I want to be with you. If this is who you are in this moment, then let's welcome. I mean, it was so beautiful.
Mm,
And truthfully, super connecting. Like if I had put on my cardboard sherry mode, which I've been known to do, like, okay, I will button it all up and um
mhm,
we would have had an entirely different connection.
mhm.
And I think
Yeah.
this is part of it's very vulnerable
Hmm.
to have hard stuff at the table anywhere.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And I've been thinking more broadly of like, how do you know if something is human? We live in a world of screens,
Oh,
and you see writing. Is it built by a robot? And someone just did a
yeah,
very like one-off, write an article about cats wearing pajamas or whatever it is.
right.
And the like idea I've been that's been coming up, and this is kind of we talked about this I think the last time we had dinner together, but the what does it mean to be like a creator first, or what does it mean to be a human
Oh,
first in your processes and the tools you use in your relationships? How do you not become the cardboard version of yourself,
oh,
but how do you insert you where you are right now? That was the connection that I made, where
wow.
it's like we do this in so many we shield ourselves or protect ourselves in our lives, in our businesses, in the work that we do through process and tools and
Yeah.
facades, and the real relationship, the real connection that we all crave is that intimacy of here's who I am right now, and that acceptance. That's what I heard when you were sharing.
Yes.
It's like
Oh,
I accept you where you are right now.
that was
That's yeah. Thank you.
that was so beautiful. And as it turned out, on the train on the way back, not consciously, but I turned on. I love Anderson Cooper's All There Is. I've probably
Mhm.
spoken many times about it. I hadn't listened to the latest episode, which was Sarah Bareilles had actually just released some music about grief. And
Mm.
so he was talking to her. But it was interesting because when I turned on their podcast, one of the first things they were talking about is how everybody wants to be seen and known and loved for who they are. And
Mhm.
yet, and yet, like how much, like to your point, like how we all want to be seen and loved for who we are. And yet it's so vulnerable to be
Mhm.
unmasked in the world.
Yeah, because we've all had the experiences of expressing our true self and being rejected.
Right.
Um, like, what's wrong with you? He's like, what's wrong with you? Come on.
Right. Or the worst of it, which, I feel like, I mean, bless all of everyone's hearts who do this, but it's like, oh, there's so much to be happy about. Don't be sad, which,
Mhm.
you know, of course there is,
Yeah.
and, we're human and we have feelings and it's, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mhm. Sometimes you're in it and it's okay to be in it. And it's also there have been moments in my life where there's been an insurmountable amount of work or an insurmountable situation where there has to be some level of acceptance of like this is happening, right? I
Yes.
have in 2 weeks, I have this big project. I have the work of 50 people that needs to get done. It's only me. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I know that it will, right?
Yes.
Or my mom's in the hospital and we're putting her on hospice, and I don't want to be there to witness the end of life because of how tough that is. But this will also pass, and kind of acknowledging it and being able to sit with it, you can actually do or make the conscious choice to engage with it. And that's always been where a lot of either the most amazing or beautiful moments kind of shine through, like sitting and singing Beatles songs to my mom,
Oh,
the last night she was alive, because that was her favorite band, and that was the way to connect
oh,
with her. Or, you know, figuring out in 9 months how to run a marathon when you can't run 5 minutes straight, like we can do great things and we can do it through that acceptance, and I had a better way to connect it back, and I kind of just went out in the weeds. But I, I,
well,
I
yeah.
think,
Oh, sorry.
go ahead.
Well, if I may, Shawn, I wanted to connect it back, which is a little bit of a different angle on it. But the reason I love when you say we contain multitudes is because I'm a huge fan of not this, not that, or not black, not white. But
Hmm.
like to me, I love that we contain multitudes because I can sit down and burst into tears at a table with a new friend, and then 15 minutes later be laughing about something that she says.
Hmm.
Like those don't cancel each other out. It doesn't have to be this or that. And
Yeah.
I think partly for me, it's like it's really hard to come with, let's say the tears are at the ready, and then someone is like, no, no,
Yeah.
then
Please
there's
no.
like, you can have the that, but you can't have the this, and there's something out of balance. I can do
Hmm.
it, but
Hmm.
it doesn't feel wholehearted.
Yeah. I mean, and maybe a different way to phrase it is, how can you trust someone that would only like you at your best if they can't handle
Oh,
you at the worst
wow.
parts, right? Or and that's negative feelings aren't the worst, but kind of
Right,
how
right, right,
we.
right. Yeah. Yeah. And I love that. And I wanted to say a tool that really helped me. First of all, we were all talking about meditation, and I want to make sure I just said that word because that
Hmm.
came up in our previous meetup. And meditation, I love meditation because meditation is exactly the not this, not that. It's the all of
Hmm.
it. But also, I was telling you, and I just want to say this to anyone listening here, um, that I made a recording for myself just minutes before our previous meetup, where I was musing out loud about, I call them pinpricks of light. Some people call them glimmers, little. You called it, I love lovers, little lovers of joy, whatever they are, like the tiny moments of light and love and well-being and joy in the midst of heartbreak or grief or illness or angst or anxiety. And when I was actually making the list, it became very apparent to me, just as it did in our conversation about multitudes, that often they go together, right? Like my friend Kirsten
Hmm.
has been going on walks with
Hmm.
me almost every week by the Embarcadero. It's beautiful at night. And she's helping me work through a lot of stuff that's hard, and inevitably we laugh and there's other things, and it's deep connection. It's become a ritual. There's so much, there's so much in it, or these
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking of that too. It's like these talks have been very helpful, being in it, or preparing to be in it, or being on the other side of it.
Yeah.
And meeting other people who are also like, yeah, it's always like reminds me of like just humanity. Being human is the tragedies and the triumphs, and all of that together are those T words, I guess. But um got me like kind of wondering too, for you, when you think about, is there any other things outside of like Susan Cain talking about melancholy and that being connective, talking about the hard stuff that influenced you? Because I often, in the back of my head, somewhere when I was much younger, heard about like the Greek philosophy of emotions, of
Oh,
like masculinity, where like men could cry because something was tragic, and be express merriment, and kind of
interesting.
holding all of these emotions was a cultural thing. um and kind of like the classic view of how to be in the world. So I'm not sure that there's anything for you that shows up
I
thinking
love that you
outside of
brought
that,
that up
but
though. That was a brand new angle on this that we haven't really looked at. Thanks, Shawn.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, for me, definitely, like I've been practicing Zen with the same spiritual teacher for 35 years now.
Hmm.
And I know that a lot of people see Zen as like, oh, Zen, you don't have any feelings. And that's the farthest thing, really. I mean,
Hmm.
Zen is really, it's about allowing and experiencing, but not
Hmm.
grasping onto. I mean, and so for me, that's partly, I think, has had a big influence on um, you know, often like I'm very aware if there's a story going on. So there can be the grief or the pain or whatever. And then when it turns into a you know,
Hmm.
then that might be a time that I will look at a beautiful tree and just kind of redirect or feel something like how do my bare feet feel on the grass or and so I think Zen is a beautiful teacher of um, neither this nor that.
Hmm. Mm. Yeah, I like that observer and redirection.
Ah,
You know, that like, okay, I'm feeling this, and wait, okay, maybe this is, I'm latching onto this too much. Let's try to let go of that story, as you were saying.
well, right. And I
Um,
love that you just did that, right? Because to me, and I've been practicing for a long time, I didn't used to know that there was a difference between what my head was telling me and what my body was experiencing and
mhm.
how connected they are. I mean, this total like coaching too, right? That it's like, don't believe everything you think.
Right. Or feel.
Oh,
Or feel, yeah, feelings aren't truth, right?
I mean that too. Yeah, I mean I love that. My one of my dear friends, we've been talking a lot about things that sort of got lodged in our nervous system probably before we were born, who knows, but definitely from the time
Hmm.
we were tiny. And the nervous system has its own like truth that
Hmm.
is like lodged back in the 1960s, right? So don't yeah, there's also that. I
Yeah.
mean, I give us a lot of credit, all of us, for being out here walking around on two legs trying to navigate all this.
Yeah. It can be a lot, and it can be everything, like it's, again, multitudes.
Multitude. I love that. Do you want to end there? Or did you have something else that was lingering that you wanted to make sure you got to say?
The other thing that kind of dropped in, and I know this has been kind of, it always feels like to me a little bit kind of free associative, like here's where we're at, but that's what I love about it. I was um, listening to a psychiatrist talk about emotional resilience,
Oh,
and he was saying that emotionally intelligent people are able to add on emotions. I'm feeling depressed. And the example he uses is like, say you break up with a partner and you're feeling totally broken up about it. And you're like, the last month of it was terrible, but you were together for 3 years. The more emotionally resilient person, in his observation, will be able to remember the 3 years leading up to that month was like the good times and can experience the joy.
Oh,
And conversely, like when you have like an idea for a new business, or like, I'm gonna, it's gonna be great, I'm going to do it, they'll bring in the negative emotion of doubt or worry, like, well, what if it didn't
ah,
happen? And it allows them to make better decisions and be
wow.
more stable. And I thought that might be another fun thing to at least bring up.
Yeah. Thank you, Shawn. That feels like something. Do you think you can remember that next time we come back? Maybe.
Maybe. I think there's a high probability.
Because that feels like something we could unpack a little bit more.
Hmm.
But I'm glad you brought it up now, just to sort of maybe plant that seed, and yeah, we can also think about your question of like what else have we read or that's influenced us, and
Hmm.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful to you. Thank you.
Thank you. This is, again, always so fun and so freeing.
So what?
Freeing. I
Oh,
feel
I
much
like.
lighter.
Me too. Me too. Yeah, I'm so grateful that you're willing to just show up, and see what happens. That is really freeing. There's a lightness to that, right? We don't
Hmm.
like it's the opposite of cardboard cherry for sure. Like, oh, I don't know what we're going to talk about. All right, so I'll see you soon, and thank you again. Anybody who's listening now or might be listening later, thanks. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Sherry.
Thank you, Shawn. Till next time.
Yep.
Bye.
See ya.
Sometimes